And life works the way it wants to be. And if you want to own a home, it will happen for you. It just will. Um,
Yes.
and don't let this, like, just don't give up and don't be afraid. I was so afraid. And I think that is the biggest, that's the reason why I do what I do today is to help people not be afraid. That is my why being a realtor. It's what gets me out of bed in the morning. Even if it's someone's seventh home, it's still, they are still doing their dream, their path of home ownership. And it's the best way to quality of life that I've ever known.
My name is Kevin McIntosh, and this is the Closing Table, where we talk to experts about their experience in real estate all across the country. Let's go. Hey, welcome back to the Closing Table. I am your host, Kevin C. McIntosh, and we have the pleasure of speaking with another top producing real estate agent and our guest on the Closing Table today. We want to welcome Ashley Bodell. How you doing, Ashley?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
All right, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Such a beautiful day in
It
June.
is. It
Home
is.
ownership month, by the way, just to put that out there. Hey, so Ashley, we are here to talk more about that real estate and all, but we start things off a little casual. I got a game called Fill in the Blank for you. It's exactly what it sounds like. Sentences all related to real estate, but they are incomplete. I need you to fill those in with context that makes sense. Are you ready?
I'm ready, I guess. Am I gonna be
I
rated
love
on
that.
this? Yeah.
No, never
Okay.
that. No wrong answer. First one. Most first-time home buyers have a problem with blank.
Hmm. Inspections or understanding um, closing costs.
Mm, good answer. Blank is the key to adding value to your home.
Hmm. I would say the kitchen.
Okay.
Updating the kitchen.
Okay. The best compliment I received about my service is blank.
I was dealing with a divorced couple, and it was pretty interesting the entire time. But at the end, he sent me a huge closing gift to my office and was super thankful. He said I did a way better job than he ever expected. So, yeah.
Nice. Nice. Last one. Blank makes the Grand Rapids market unique.
You know, truthfully, this is kind of, there's many answers to this question, but I think the big thing is Grand Rapids really grew our downtown in a way that a lot of other cities have not. So
Mm,
they really put a lot of time and effort and put a lot of committees together to make our area so, to bring, the healthcare system here. And I mean, sorry if you can hear that. It's still great here. Um,
nice.
um, I live right next to it, so I hear it quite a bit. But truthfully, it's our downtown area. I think that the way they reinvented it was genius.
Nice, nice. And
Mhm.
I spent some time in downtown Grand Rapids. Went to the museum once or
Mhm.
twice. I think the Art Institute or something, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. I was there a few years ago. Really enjoyed myself too. I like that you have the water, the river that goes straight through downtown. You have
Mhm.
the bridges right there. It's a beautiful scene too. If
Yeah.
no one's ever been to Grand Rapids, second largest city in Michigan, by the way.
They're
Okay,
redoing
Ashley. So
that
thank you.
that river, by the way. Yeah.
Are they?
Uh,
They're redoing the
Well,
river?
there's like, so I've been told that there's some like a species that's being, I don't know, instinct from it. But anyways, they're redoing the way the dam is, so it's interesting.
That
Yeah.
is interesting.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, cool. Definitely makes it unique. All right, so Ashley, I like for you to take this opportunity right now. Let's step outside of business. And in 60 seconds or less, can you tell us who is Ashley Bodell outside of real estate?
Well, I'm a mom, first of all. I have a 6-year-old son. I started out this journey, and I know that this is still about real estate, but it's made me who I am. I started this journey like knowing nothing about real estate, and I feel like when I bought my first home, it helped reinvent who I was.
Hmm.
And not like reinvent, but just like it gave me the courage to grow. Um, but also like get involved with my community again and when you have a newborn, it like changes you. You know, it's like your whole world. And then all of a
Yes,
sudden you start
yes.
finding other things. And I love to work out. I love to run with my son. I have, I'm lucky enough to have a pool, or unlucky enough because it's a lot of work. But I like to garden a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I like to garden a lot. Um, I don't know. I guess like that's kind of a question. I just think about real estate 24/7. I know that's probably weird. Real estate, my son. Those are my things.
Mm.
But
No, not weird at all. It's your profession. It's your
yeah.
lifestyle. You're engulfed in it.
Well,
It's what
yeah,
you
and
live
like
and breathe.
exactly, and like it changed my life from like when I bought my first house and I was not a realtor, and
Yeah,
I've never stopped thinking about it since. And
there it
that's
is.
why
There
I
it is.
ultimately made that decision to help other people. So
Yeah. All right, then. There it
yeah.
is. Well, thank you, Ashley. So now we know a little bit about you on the personal side. Let's start getting to your professional side. Starting off with your market that you currently serve. I think we already spoke on it. Grand Rapids, for the most part. You have any other geographical details for us as far as any surrounding areas that you serve? Can you get into some of the economics in regards
Mm.
to real estate status right now?
Well, so as far as that goes, I mean, Grand Rapids is kind of unique because it's pretty easy to get to it. So, like, the surrounding
Mm,
areas are still like almost as hot as Grand Rapids because people, especially during COVID, kind of wanted a little bit more land or whatever they, I think they realized they were kind of in a bubble. So, our expanding
mm-hmm.
areas have gotten huge and we're so close to the Lakeshore. We've got like there's Rockford, Coopersville, Lowell, I mean, all these surrounding areas, and then south. They've really had a big boom since COVID, and those were the areas we used to direct people in the past. Hey, maybe you shouldn't look in Jenison or Hudsonville, which is still outside, but they're known for like their school districts.
Okay.
But maybe we should go like towards these areas, but they're just kind of booming everywhere right now because we have such a good direct way of getting to GR. Um,
Mm,
it is nice, yeah. And then we're so close to Lakeshore, so basically, like the more west you go, the closer you are to Grand Haven or South Haven or Saugatuck. We're really pretty blessed. And even north. I mean, then you've got up north, Torch Lake, all those things. Ludington,
mm,
yeah.
mm.
So
Okay.
it's a
Okay.
little tricky. There's some like pocket spots still, like we've got like Greenville, but even that is getting bigger because they don't have the best access to GR. But yeah,
Oh.
we're pretty lucky.
Okay. Okay. Nice, nice. Yeah, I enjoy Grand Rapids for, for the entertainment and the different
Hmm.
things that I've experienced there, but the living space. I've been hearing a lot more good things about Grand Rapids, hearing good things about their school systems and
Hmm.
how the value there is, starting to increase overall in that area. So it's a very interesting and intriguing market, especially if you're living here in the state of Michigan, I will
Hmm.
say. If you've never been, definitely I would encourage you to
Yes.
go. Um, there's a review on your page I want to talk about a little bit. I don't know if
Okay.
you're familiar with this. It says, "quote She walked me through everything, always looking out for my best interest, even when I didn't know I needed it." End quote. Didn't
Hmm.
even know that they needed some help. So let's talk about what are some common things that your clients didn't know that they needed you helping them with, pretty much.
So I think, I always revert back to when I bought my first home. Like I did not understand certain things and my realtor was fantastic, but I just there it sticks with me because
Mm-hmm.
it's taught me a valuable lesson on like cues because I will never forget it. So I look in cues on people of like where their disconnect is in a situation, and a lot of people will just put it under the rug because they're afraid to ask questions because they may feel like they're being ignorant on it, but they're not because they don't do
Right,
this every
right.
day. So I
Mm-hmm.
really listen to those cues, and when I walk through people, some like first home buyers, sometimes I will break it up in sections because I judge or I learn the personality. And so what I'll do is I'll break it up in sections as learning as we go. Or sometimes like some people need it laid out on the table. And this I think I know who you're talking about. She had never bought a home. It was a huge game changer for her. She was living in a trailer home in Muskegon.
Mm,
and she bought her dream home, and it was one of those moments where I just, this is why I do what I do. But I walked, she needed the full picture. And so I think she didn't realize what the full picture was or that she needed it. But everybody needs something different because some people get overwhelmed, and can't compartmentalize, or they'll forget because it is complex. So,
right.
yeah.
Right, right. Yeah, and that's exactly why we hire professionals like
Yeah,
yourself. I
yeah.
mean, we don't know all the stuff. We don't know all the words, the jargon, the
I know.
documents,
And
and
sometimes
legal things.
I do the jargon, and it's something I need to work on. But I did it today. I was like, oh, she doesn't know what eminent domain is. What then I just
She said, "Did I
Oh,
do the
yeah,
jargon?"
yeah, I did. I did the jargon because it becomes our way of life. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I get it. Another thing you recently posted is one of your listings, and you posted with quote a new reduced price. It's a common belief that there's a
Mm.
stigma behind listings with a new lower price. So, how do you manage people's perceptions on your listings when you have these new revised pricings?
So do you mean as far as like my sellers or as buyers, agents, and buyers?
Well, just basically the perspective of anyone who could be a potential buyer,
Buyer,
or
okay.
looking to buy one of the listings that you're posting. You initially had it for 200, now you're saying new reduced price,
Mhm.
and it's 150. A lot of people would think that's a bad thing associated
Yeah.
with that. How are you managing that?
So I think I'm not sure which one this is because it's kind of it's different in every case, like everything in real estate.
Right.
That's what keeps us young, I guess, or old. I don't know. But so um, I truthfully just say to people that ask that, like the market's going to tell us where it's at. And
Mm,
sometimes that makes a shift in certain areas. And sometimes
right, right.
there are things that come up that, may or may not have been, whether or not there's comps in the area that support it. Like I've had ones that need a ton of work. And so
Mm,
they're like my sellers are going based on houses that are fully done, and I work with them and we come up with a program. So for instance, one I had an offer deadline set. And I told him like if in 3 days we get bad feedback, we need to lower to X amount. So I had that amendment signed already, and we were getting bad feedback, and we had a week and a half deadline, which is longer than most, I know, but it was a unique situation. But we ended up getting like, I don't even know, I think 30 some offers. So it
oh
isn't
wow.
always a bad thing. It's just sometimes driving interest because if you list too high, and that's generally what I tell people, we just listed too high. This house
Right, right.
is amazing, but it's worth X amount. And the market told us
Mm,
that.
mm.
Mhm.
Interesting, interesting. I would see I mean, I guess the market is so competitive now. I could see people just saying, "Hey, oh, that house that we were looking at, they just dropped $50,000." But I could also see, let's make an offer. But I can also see them saying, "Hey, why did they drop $50,000 on that house? What's wrong with it?
So
Did the inspection come in bad or something?"
See, no, so if it goes pending and then, it gets reduced, that is a higher stigma than listing it and reducing, in my personal opinion.
Ah, okay.
Because
What's the
having it,
difference?
so if it's been pending, maybe there were inspections, maybe something got flagged by the previous buyer's agent and their buyer, and that is more of
Mm,
a red flag to me than someone just going down in price. That tells me they just listed it too high. And I
mm,
always joke that, like, when you go to the grocery store and there's the checkout line and
right.
there's nobody there and then everybody's there at once, that's what price reductions do. So you can still have
Absolutely.
multiple offers with them. So it's not because everybody in this market, they want a deal. Everybody is geared towards wanting a deal. And sometimes people pay way over what that deal is worth, but they're still feeling like they get a deal. And sometimes price reductions can help nurture that deal in their minds. So
Mm,
that's how I
mm,
see it.
okay. Okay. Yeah, it's all about perspective. I like that. I like that new angle. I got some information doing some research saying households earning $75,000, which is supposed to be the median household income in the United States. They're saying they can usually afford to buy a home up to $256,000.
Hmm.
Although the majority of households are earning $75,000 or less, how do you assist buyers in this income range to help find homes within their affordability?
So it's kind of a joke within us, like that 250 is the new 150, which is not great, but everything has
Yeah, I
just
was just
went
thinking
up
like,
in
dang.
price, but so,
I feel it.
but when I say that, I just mean like there's anything under 300,000 now is pretty competitive. And
Mm.
I set expectations. This is what we are expecting based on this price point, and I need to set you up for success, and we've got to get creative. So, like, let's dig down, let's think about things that we can do. I set them up for all different types of options, whether it's like the Mishta program, which I know is 10,000 they have to pay back. But
Hmm.
so I let everyone know their options, and there's, nothing is too good to be true. That's for sure. I let them know about like VA zero down, like if they're a veteran, off market deals that come across, and I just tell people like off markets are a little different than they used to be though too, but um,
Mm.
they're just because if they list it, they could get more. So yeah, but I just set everyone up for an expectation of you're not going to get the first house you want and things will not be 100% perfect. But sometimes they are. Like I had a client,
Mm.
we looked for, I don't know, I met her at an open house and it was snowing, so I think it was like February probably. And we looked from February and she just closed last month, but she found a lake house. So like you never know. It's just about like nothing like real estate, like it's always meant to be. And I just set
Right.
everyone down with like, do not get burnt out. Do not put too much feeling into this because you will burn out and fizzle away. Like let's evaluate. Like the ones that look like Pottery Barn came in and decorated the whole place, we're probably gonna have to compete a lot. So try and find the ones that maybe have sat a little bit longer and we can walk through those and try, but if it seems too good to be true, it normally is in real estate. Find the ones that are listed
Mm.
high and been sitting for a second before they do the price reduction. Let's write an offer.
Right.
Let's communicate.
Right. Are you finding that amongst, let's just say, amongst first time home buyers
Hmm.
in this specific market, are you finding that a lot of these first time home buyers are looking for the move in ready? Not too many are looking for the fixer uppers, or is it a mixture?
It's a mixture, I'd
We're
say, really, truthfully.
really.
Yeah. So I'm really good at setting expectations. Like
Hmm.
when I that first initial consult, if they're talking about living in an area that I'm unsure of getting what they want, so I will show them on the MLS like this is what you can get for this price, and it still may go 20 to 40 over. This is what you can get at this price over here. I know it's insane and it's hard,
Yeah.
but I also want people to be in a position that they're comfortable. If they're super uncomfortable waiving inspections, then we have to look at options.
Hmm.
We have to strategize. It's not just about one flies in the market, let's get there like it used to be. Because a lot of them don't even have offer deadlines, and then all of a sudden they get two offers in that day, and then we're competing with, you know, we're competing with appraisal margins and all of that.
Got you.
Hmm.
And within that Metro Grand Rapids area, are there any specific neighborhoods that are maybe like more reasonably priced than other neighborhoods?
I would still say Wyoming is pretty like reasonably priced, but it's getting competitive there as well. Um,
Mm.
I mean that's Wyoming, GR Wyoming. Um,
Right.
I would say like on the west side, probably closer to the downtown area is pretty negotiable. Some places near North Park are still okay. They tend to list a little high, is what I've seen. And
Right.
that kind of gives you some edge. And then I'm trying to think of where else. Southeast, towards the Beltline. I've seen. Oh, it depends because that's such a wide range. But there are some pocket
Mm.
areas in there as well. But a lot of them are in up and coming areas, and it just depends. If it depends on the person and what their capabilities are. And that's like something that I always, when I ask people, when I sit and talk to them, like, what are you willing to do? And what is
Mm,
your why?
mm,
What is your why is like the purpose of life, right? So, what is your
right.
why for buying this house, and what is your need, and what is your end game? Do you want to buy a perfect home and never and live there forever, or 10 years, that's it? Let's figure out how we can strategize. Is your why I want to buy a starter home and buy my potential home later? I'm done renting. Like, there's so many things. So,
Right.
yeah,
Right. Okay. Okay. I mean, another option that they have, condos and townhomes,
yeah,
which theoretically often less expensive than single families, if I'm not mistaken. So, in
yeah.
your experience, what are the benefits and potential drawbacks of first time home buyers getting a condo or a townhome?
Well, you get to pick. Do you want me to start with drawbacks or benefits?
Let's start with the benefits.
Okay. So the benefits, especially for like somebody who's single, is um, and and this depends on a person.
Mhm.
But if you are looking for a home that you do not have to do the lawn, I mean, some
Oh,
condos do
yeah.
have that. Some condos do. Um,
Yeah.
but if you're looking for low maintenance, because even if there is lawn, like I have a friend, she bought one through me. She uses a weed whacker, so she doesn't even use like a lawnmower. So
Mm.
if you're looking for that kind of just low maintenance lifestyle, perfect. And I mean, truthfully, some of the prices there are going up in condos. They're actually becoming more of a thing because they're making more community ones with pools, and you don't have to take care of a pool, but you do have,
Right.
but the downside is right now, I feel like condos are here, and I don't know if they're gonna stay here because I know that, I mean, this is a personal thought because I've just always seen them lower and they're starting to rise, and maybe that's with everything rising, but they don't
Mm-hmm.
inflate as quick as houses. And so it's more, that is what I really mean to say is the inflation rate of growth does not, it's not the same as a single family home. But
Right.
it's person by person. I mean, I just sold one to someone last week. Um, she was a social worker. She just needed like an apartment that she owned, basically. She just wanted to own a home. And it worked out perfect for her. They paid for her water, her gas, all the outside maintenance. Like, she was not somebody who wanted to go out and build a garden in the backyard. So it was perfect for her.
Mm, mm. I
So
want to go back a little bit. I mean, from what you're saying, it almost sounds as if you believe there's a possible condo slash townhome bubble that could potentially pop
I
with the
don't know
prices.
because they're putting in condos all over Grand Rapids right now. So I don't know. I think that's
Ah.
helping with the rise, but I don't know. I also feel like there's like a big population where, I mean, assisted living is getting very expensive and condos are a good option
Mm-hmm.
to that. So I really don't know because there is a 55 and up, and those tend to be lower pricing. But then we're getting
Okay.
some in like niche areas or niche areas, like on the Beltline. There's tons of them going in over there instead of apartments because they're seeing, I don't know, but they are going up in
Hmm.
price. There's one for sale there right now for like 450, and I have condos down the
Whoa.
road that are 450. Yeah, but then
Whoa.
but these are more like side by side units, but they're definitely getting up there in price here. So and I just started noticing that this spring. So
Mm. I'm not the smartest person. I'm not an economist, but I would think if you're building so many condos
that means it should be
after
okay. Yeah, yeah.
right, if you're building so many and they go vacant for so long, you would think
There
there
must be
would
a
I mean,
need. There must be a need. And so I should say the inflation in the past has not been the best. I have no idea. I
yeah,
can't, there's no
yeah.
crystal ball in front of me. But that was my conversation in the past, and I'm actually pushing people more towards that than I used to because I think that it fits certain lifestyles best.
Oh, really?
I
Huh.
mean, honestly, I have a house and sometimes I think about doing it. So
I get it. Is it because of the maintenance thing?
my house was built in
I get it.
1910. It's old.
Oh, okay. I get
Yeah.
it. No,
Yeah.
you know what, and I talk about that a few times and I still think about it how like the life cycle of home ownership goals as
Mhm.
you're an adult. You go from like, in college, maybe you rent an apartment, then eventually you graduate and you get your first home, and then you have your home, you build your equity, and then you get older, your kids move out, you become
Yeah,
a lonely nester, then you want to downgrade, and then maybe you eventually you get rid of it
exactly.
altogether,
And there's
and then you
not a
go
lot of
into a
places to go, so I think
right.
that's why they're building these condos. And I don't even think the need is really 55 plus ish. I think it's just downsizing because people are not wanting to take care of their large yards and all. I mean, it gets old after a while,
Yeah, yeah.
and stuff
Trust me,
accumulates, and like, yeah.
I'm just renting right now, and I'm already tired of cutting grass. I
Mhm.
have to cut my own grass and shovel, and I'm like, yo, this is old. I have to
So
like
I hired it
tired of
out. I
this.
hired it out for the first year. I couldn't handle it anymore.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I
Mhm.
get it though.
Yeah.
So since every person's story regarding their purchase for their first home is different, can you share any success stories for first time home buyers who overcame challenges and successfully purchased their dream homes with Ashley Bodell?
So you mean as far as like my past clients or myself? Because I have both.
Uh, whichever one you have, great story to tell. Please, we're here for either or both.
Um, I generally I'll tell two quick ones.
Please.
Um, so I'll tell mine first. So I never thought I would buy a house, and my friend was a realtor, and she was like, "Come on, you can do this. Come on, you can do this." And I was like, "I don't want to care about my credit. It's too much. Like, I don't want to think about
Mm,
it." I was in that mindset of like, I'm never gonna own a home because that's something of the past.
gotcha.
And I kind of just like neglected the things that I should have been paying attention to. I don't know if that's just like ignorance and naivety with like being a young adult, but that's what I
You
did.
aren't the only one.
But she pushed me, and I worked on my credit for a full year. And the day we
Uh-huh.
closed on our house, I'm like, is this real life? This is ours? Like this is ours?
Yeah.
And we sold it in 2 years and made 40K. And now I have
Whew.
it. Yeah, I know. And that was in 2019, so I sold it in 2018. So I sold it in 20. Yeah.
Mm,
So, I mean, I tell people like use your house as a piggy bank. Use
yeah,
it
yeah,
because in this area we're very fortunate to be in somewhat of a bubble. Our growth rate is way higher than it's ever been in the past. It's
yeah.
unbelievable. Like this is the way, this is the opportunity. Yeah, sure, interest rates have gone up, but still, like think about how much money you've saved by buying when you
Mm-hmm.
did, and yeah, the growth of that. But anyway, so that helped me be in a situation that I'm so lucky to be in, but it was because of
Nice.
that venture. And during that time, one of my best friends, he grew up with, he's basically allergic to, I don't even know, like eggs, shellfish, wheat, dairy. I mean, like the list goes on and on. So he had some medical bills that were holding him back. And I did the same thing. I poked and poked, and he got his credit up, and they have a house down the road, and they have over $100,000 in equity right now. I
Nice.
mean, that is insane.
Nice.
So it really feels daunting, but just don't be afraid. I think that's the biggest thing. Don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid if your credit score goes down 12 points. Just keep working at it. Keep your credit
Right.
cards below 30%. Pay your stuff on time. Like you will get there. And it is possible for everyone. I have clients, I mean, I started being a realtor 4 years ago, five, and she just got her first house last summer, but 4 years it took her to get her credit up, but she got a house. I mean, it is possible. And last
Yeah.
year was harder than this year, so
Yeah.
yeah.
As long as you have a plan, you actually have to draw out a plan, envision it,
Envision
look at
it.
your plan,
That is
talk
the
to a
key.
professional. Yeah.
Yes, the key is to envision it. And I know that this is
Mm-hmm.
some like new age thing, like
Come on. Yeah, we
manifest, but
speaking
it's
truth.
real. It's real. It's
Yeah.
so real. My whole success in my real estate is because I manifested it. I think about it every day when I wake up. I mean, even when I don't, like, I need a tiny bit of a break, I'm like, I
Yeah.
manifest no work for 2 weeks. I mean, I'm still gonna work, but no new
I
clients,
love
like no insane,
that.
like, and then all of a sudden I'll wake up one day, I'm like, ready. And it
Let's
floods,
get it.
because
Yep.
what you believe will happen. And
Come
it
on
is
now.
a game changer. So, If you feel like it's not going to happen for you, it won't happen for you.
Mm. You talking that talk today, Ashley. That's a great piggyback into my next question for you. You did mention that you currently own a home. So
Mm,
let's take it back. Let's say you did not own a home and you are aspiring to own a home.
mhm.
But knowing everything that you know now, including all resources that's available today, what approach would you take to owning your first home?
I think the biggest thing, I forgot the name of the credit card. Um, so if you have really bad credit, you can buy or you can use the credit card, but you pay in advance. I know the name, it's on the tip of my tongue. Um, I can't think of it, but so it's basically you put 300 in, that's your credit limit. That will help you
Mm.
gain your, why can't I think of it? It's gonna bug me,
Is it
but
one of the Capital One
there's a
cards?
ton of different ones, but they have a
Okay.
specific name to this card. But if you Google, anybody watching this, Google that, it'll, and hopefully it comes to me.
Hmm.
But that will help you so much if you're struggling with debt. So much. Even if you put 300 on there and keep like $5 on there, like that will help you with your credit. And your credit is not, it used to like sit on my back like a monkey. Like I felt like it was just like weighing me down, like, oh, how am I ever gonna do this? And now I'm like, let's play the game. Play the
Right.
game. And once you learn that game, and once you get into like the sixes, sevens, you'll start seeing trends of how you're. And I don't go on there every day, but I get alerts and I pay attention to it. Now, does it take me down? No. That is the thing I think that people need to get over is that, oh, well, my credit's bad now. I'm never gonna own a home. Oh, well, I don't have 20,000 in the bank. I'm never gonna own a home. You don't know that. Life is
Mm.
weird, and life works the way it wants to be. And if you want to own a home, it will happen for you. It just will. Um,
Yes.
and don't let this, like, just don't give up and don't be afraid. I was so afraid. And I think that's the reason why I do what I do today is to help people not be afraid. That is my why being a realtor. It's what gets me out of bed in the morning. Even if it's someone's seventh home, it's still, they are still doing their dream, their path of home ownership. And it's the best way
Mm.
to quality of life that I've ever known.
Mm. I would agree. I would
Mm,
agree. On the other side of fear is your success. It's right there.
it is.
Well, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Ashley. We appreciate you for pulling up a chair to the
Yeah.
closing table, sharing your knowledge with me and our audience. At this point, if you have any last words and or want to tell the people how to reach out to you, please do so now.
Oh, well, my name's Ashley Bodell again. I work at Bella Bay. I don't really know. Like, I guess I'm on Facebook. You can find me, Ashley Ray Bodell. But yeah, thanks for having me on here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ashley, thank you for coming. Thank you for being a guest, taking time out of your very busy schedule. We definitely appreciate it. For our YouTube audience watching right now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, you already know. Hit that thumb, aka the like button for us. We appreciate it. Make sure you also share the content and subscribe to our channel. And if you are listening on Apple, Spotify, or any other podcast platform, please do the same. Give us a like, a 5-star rating, and subscribe for our latest content. Ashley, I always like to leave our audience with a question to make them think on the way out the door. So this is for you, audience. Have you ever waited until the purchase price reduces on a property in order to make an offer? And if so, was it worth it? Don't tell us now. Leave it in the comments below. Besides that, we'll talk to you next time.